well. I don't know if this. I tested. So once again, Hoop fans, Lori Shepherd coming to you.
We're going to talk a lot about fantasy football rankings. I want to give the biggest shout out to high school sports.
Belly cut the defender, gets the ball, and it falls at the buzzer!
I'm working on my hand-eye coordination.
Are we on?
And we're live.
Oh,
We're live.
Oh, hey.
Welcome in. Welcome into Four Quarters. What is it? Fly
been a
on the
while.
Wall production.
It's been a while.
We've been a
forgot.
week and a half.
Help me, guys.
Tuesday. Week and a half. And this is good for the reflexes.
Yes.
And we got a lot of these floating around. It's Wheel's birthday today.
Woo, woo,
Ding, ding, ding. Woo-hoo.
I'm the big 3-5.
You are the
Big 3-5, plus or minus 10,
I
it's
just
fine.
turned 40. Welcome in to Fly on the Wall Productions.
Elizabeth says happy 35th.
Thank you.
Aw.
Appreciate it. See, she understands. 35.
She's wonderful. Really enjoyed listening to you, by the way.
Yeah.
So fun. So fun. And that feels like it was a month ago. And
It
it was
does.
what? A week ago?
A week ago.
Week and a half, maybe?
That we remember.
Yep. So we have a lot to cover. I would like to say that we're going to go in order, but we're not. Because I've got these. Wheels and I have so many notes on our
these, we
phone.
have this.
So we're just going to bounce around. The first half, though, we will do shout outs. We have a lot to review in high school sports. And we'll give a lot of other fun shout outs as well. But I'm going to hand it off to CB because it's been a week and a half, so we should do a doggy shout out.
Two.
So I'm going to
Two.
throw it to you,
two
CB.
Doggy shout outs. Okay.
Two.
I gotta shout out mine too.
Oh,
so
okay.
this is oops, come on, not that one. Oh, it transitioned to the wrong desktop. We'll move this over. Okay. All right. So this is Rhea. She's Michaela, a PT that we work with. It's her new puppy. She is a 4.5-month-old
Yeah.
border collie.
Border collie? Yeah.
Yep.
So cute.
So Michaela's part, it's our work family. So now,
Yeah. Yep. It's Rusty's new little sister.
and look how, drove all the way to Kansas.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
And Ben,
Yeah.
and Ben, her husband, is like a freaking amazing photographer.
Do you want to see the pictures? Because you can't see them now.
They're the
Show 'em
cutest.
too. They are so freaking cute. And who's the second one on?
My baby girl,
There it is. There it is.
who turned 8 on Sunday.
Oh.
And so we had a little party. So close
Oh,
to your
it's the one I
birthday,
showed-
Happy birthday. Love it. Pisces dog. Love it.
So cute.
made her a little cake and she tolerated the hat.
That's
Not willingly, but she tolerated the hat.
Yep. Yeah, so those are the two doggy shout outs. And then we have one more, right? You want to take this one?
Doggy or
The
club
Michaela's.
team?
Yep.
Club team. So sticking with Michaela, our coworker, this is a picture of her Essex club team, Fusion Volleyball. And I love the picture. We don't talk to her enough about this because, well, I'm just going to speak for me. I don't know volleyball that well, but I know I love to watch it.
I love it.
Yep.
And I hope it takes off in Vermont, and I've said that for the last couple of years as it starts to gain momentum. But they were runner-up in a tournament this past weekend, 16 and under, an out-of-state tournament. They will be heading this weekend, because they play a lot of out-of-state tournaments,
figured, yeah.
to get more competition and more matches. They'll be in Holyoke, Mass this weekend, and a lot of these young ladies are from Chittenden County. There is one player from Plattsburgh, and Miranda, the assistant coach, I believe is also from Plattsburgh. I hope I don't get that wrong. And Michaela Dean, one of our coworkers who we love dearly, is the head coach of the team. And she's so proud of this group, and it's up in the Essex area where it's growing.
Right.
I know as far as down in this neck of the woods, I think it's taken off in the Montpelier area. I don't think it hasn't gained any traction at Spalding or in
No.
the Barry area. I know U32 parents were starting to ask around about it. The funniest thing to me is it should be in all of the
Right,
Vermont
I
schools.
agree.
But when I was still coaching at Northfield, so we're going to go back a few years, 7 years, it was huge up in Enosburg. I would go travel up to Enosburg for games, and there would be volleyball trophies in the case. And they must have had to go out of state
Right.
as well. And I thought it was just the boys. I don't even know if it was boys and girls, but I know Michaela very much enjoys the sport, has been actively involved as a player and now as a coach for years. And I just hope it just keeps gaining traction. And good luck to the Fusion volleyball team, the Essex Club team, when you travel out of state to Holyoke, Mass. That's a fun area down there
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
lots to do there. Lots of
Yes,
shopping. in
lots to
between
do
matches.
there. Whoops,
That's
I
for
forgot
sure.
that we still have our 15-minute sand timer that survived the flood.
Oh, wow.
It did.
Funny what survives and what doesn't.
Right? So I'm going to just, before I highlight more high school sports, I'm going to throw it to Wheels because I think she has a few things to say in her shout out. I don't know.
I have two big shout outs. One will shock no one. And the other, if you know me, won't shock you at all that I'm pumped about it. So clearly, first of all, I'm wearing the birthday shirt. Obviously.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Finally got the Caitlin Clark apparel going. The newest Caitlin Clark record that she broke, I feel like every time we're on here, she's breaking a record.
She is.
It's just the theme. She is now the all-time leading scorer in all of Division I basketball history, male and female. She passed Pistol Pete Maravich. She needed 18 points on Sunday. She did it in kind of a boring fashion. If you've been watching Caitlin and the records that she breaks, foul shots, anticlimactic, but still, she got the 18 points. She now stands at 3,668 points. The regular season is now over. It now goes to the Big Ten tournament and then obviously into March Madness. So she did it against Ohio State, the number 2 team in the country. Iowa had them from the get-go. I mean, I don't know if you watched it, Lori. I know
watched
that
it,
CB did. Her and I were texting back and forth. Iowa came out hot.
Oh, yeah.
So hot.
Yep.
Like Gabby Marshall, Katie Martin.
Gabby Marshall, her 3.
Oh, it was awesome.
Amazing.
Awesome. When they are clicking like that, when the other people, when Caitlin can get the other people, when she gets the
Get
other
them-
people involved,
the rest of her
and
teammates
they're hitting
involved.
their
Yeah.
shots and they're...
Because she didn't really start. She started
She
cold.
did. She started very cold. She was like 9 for 23 the whole game. But it's her assists that, I mean, she just, everything starts with her. And when her teammates are hitting open shots that she gets for them, they're a tough team to beat when they're hitting like
And
that.
that's the thing. I know the records are nice, and I think the most important one for her was passing Kelsey Plum. So I think what she's trying to say now is let's focus on the tournament,
Right.
guys.
Yep.
Because
Yep,
they've gone
for
from
sure.
the number 2 team, then they slid down to 4, then they slid down to 6
yeah.
as all the pressure was on Caitlin Clark to get these records.
Correct.
And now it's just time to focus. And I said going into that game, she'll get the Pistol Pete record.
Yeah.
But the most important thing for Iowa that day was
Yep.
to win that freaking
Oh,
game.
yeah. It was
Oh, yeah,
huge.
absolutely.
Huge
It was
game for them.
huge in the
Absolutely.
Big Ten. They had to have it. And we've been saying all winter that if you're the number 2 ranked team,
It's bad luck.
it's bad luck.
Yeah.
But it was important for them to go out, and I'm sure she wants to stop talking about records now
Yeah.
and focus on the
Correct.
tournament
Yeah.
because that girl wants a championship.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And it was right there last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Mark says, take away 3-pointers, and how many points would Clark have?
Right.
Mark, we're not going to introduce you to Jody,
No.
okay?
Yeah. But like
It's
on
my
the other
birthday.
hand,
We're not
kidding.
having this argument
I'm
right
kidding.
now.
but also, as I was saying, like Pistol Pete averaged double her shots per game.
Correct. He averaged 40 to
Some-
50 shots
yeah.
a game, something
Yep.
like that.
And she did like 19.
Right.
So-
Yeah.
But us old school people that remember Pistol Pete,
Yeah.
he was a heck of a player.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
At
Oh,
LSU.
absolutely.
Heck of a player. Really
Yeah,
was.
it takes nothing away from that. I mean, it's just agree with you now that this record is behind
Yeah.
her. Like, let's move on.
It's time to move on. And that's what she's saying.
Right. So she ends the regular season averaging 32.2 points a game, 8.7 assists. She was named
Assists.
today the Big Ten Player of the Year for the third consecutive year. Not a shocker at all
Right.
there.
Right.
She also has 80. This I thought was very interesting. 84 field goals beyond 25 feet.
Damn.
The NBA 3-point line is 23.9.
Wow.
Solid.
So she's well beyond that. And I thought this was interesting, and I don't know if you guys know the answer, but she has the most 3-pointers made in a season, female. She is tied for male. Do you think you know who she's tied with for the most 3-pointers in a season?
In college.
In college.
college.
Obviously, because
In
that's where
college,
she is.
yes.
But we're not going to.
So she has 162.
It's not Michael Jordan.
It is not Michael Jordan.
Larry Bird.
No.
Because he was.
Currently,
current.
currently playing?
More
more current.
He is currently in the NBA, but he's sharpshooter NBA.
Steph Curry
Steph Curry.
Oh, I was going to say that.
at Davidson.
Yep.
Mark
Atta
says
boy.
all in fun. He has the most respect for Clark.
I love it.
Steph Curry was so much fun to watch at Davidson.
Yes.
He put them on the map.
Yes.
And nobody thought, because he was a little stick
Yep.
figure at the time.
Yep.
Nobody, I mean, I'm going to speak for me, only thought he was going to succeed.
No, I don't think you're the only one that thought that.
And not taking anything away from him.
No,
Loved it. Loved
no.
watching him. Loved it.
So, like I said, regular season ends. Also, huge news that I was happy about. I know that Lori is happy about. Caitlin is foregoing her 5th
Yep.
season. She will enter the WNBA draft.
Right thing to
And
do.
Yep.
She will be a part of the Indiana Fever, like
Yep.
I said, unless they're the dumbest
Those
team on the
tickets, I looked at the prices, are insane.
planet. Right.
Did you see?
They've tripled.
They've tripled.
Because I was gonna go like down to New York and then see like a Liberty
Yep.
Indiana game,
Yep.
but
You
they
need
were
to go
like,
to Mohegan Sun and
they
watch
were
the Connecticut
so
Sun.
they're
Yeah.
crazy.
That's where you need to.
They're
There's
crazy.
2 or 3 games.
2 or 3, yep.
I know
So
I
we're gonna
looked
get
them
our
up.
tickets.
I know you looked
Yep.
them up. I've forgotten, but that's going to be the best. But as soon as they go on sale, you got to get them.
Oh, you have to. Yeah.
'Cause
You can
Kim-
buy them. You can buy them.
They're on sale now.
They're
on
Where's
sale.
Karen Safford?
Yo,
Yeah,
you
we
missed
got it.
it.
She's got it.
You missed it. You might have
Karen,
missed it.
what's happening?
I think we'll be okay under the Connecticut Sun.
Yeah,
think so.
with
I don't know.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
were a
know.
little bit cheaper.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So, and one last thing, if you watch the game or you watch College Game Day that they were there at Iowa, they have a huge billboard of Caitlin Clark
Yep.
in Iowa on the street where the stadium is, and it's of her record-breaking 3-pointer where she broke the women's all-time scoring record, and then like down the block, like diagonal, Nike has a hoop, a billboard hoop
Nice.
that
Oh, wow.
says
Nice.
I don't even remember what it says, but this was never a long shot is what it
Yes,
says.
yep.
So it literally looks like Caitlin is shooting to
Yeah.
that hoop
Solid.
across the way, which
Solid
is-
marketing.
like how sick is that?
Solid
Did
marketing.
you see the one of her and Pistol Pete on Facebook
awesome.
where he's kind of handing her the crown?
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, all
Such
of
a
that is great. But we're
classic.
on to the Big Ten tournament. They play Friday at 5:30. They play the winner of Wisconsin Penn State
That's this Friday.
this Friday.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
I have to go home.
So that's my first shout out. And the next shout out is, if you didn't hear me screaming and hooting and hollering and just running around the streets, Oklahoma's winning streak is over in college softball, and I could not be happier about it. Down go the Sooners.
Louisiana Raging
The Raging
Cajuns.
Cajuns. Thank you for the early birthday gift, because so glad that streak is over.
I mean, I saw
So
it
glad.
on ESPN's bottom line, and I went, oh my God, they just made Jody the happiest person
Yes.
on earth. They don't really bother me too much, but I know how much you do not like them.
No.
And that is the longest streak in softball history, though.
71 games.
Damn.
I mean, you got to respect it.
Yeah.
How can you not?
So
3 in a row, right? They won 3
The
championships?
closest streak to that, and I remember the Arizona Wildcats from
Yes.
1996. 97 was 47 games.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
70
wow.
71.
games. That is sick.
Almost
It
double.
is.
That is sick. What an incredible achievement. They had not lost at home in over 4 years.
Nope.
That's sick.
Yep.
The last blemish happening February 29th, 2020. But yes, my friend,
Yes.
If you don't mind Oklahoma, you just go, but if you're Jody, I knew it. I said, oh boy.
So happy.
She is going to be ecstatic. You did let out a hoot and holler.
Oh, I
didn't
let
you?
out a hoot and holler. And you know what's even better? The rankings came out today.
Who's in first?
Guess who's in
ranked
first?
Washington.
Hook 'em horns.
No way. That would have been my second because
So
you like
happy.
Washington and Texas.
Washington, Texas. So now it goes Texas, Oklahoma, LSU, Duke, Washington are the top five.
Oh, so you got
Solid.
Two of my teams are in the top five.
two of your teams are in the top
Pretty
five.
happy about it.
When all is said and done,
When all
will
is said and done.
Oklahoma be back up
Yes,
there?
they
I don't
will.
know. I don't know.
I'm
just
sure.
saying.
But I'm going to take the victory right now.
Take it.
That
Take
The
it.
streak is over. We don't have to listen to the streak again. But it'll just start over, I'm sure. And it'll be like, oh, whole new one.
Sam Drake says hi.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sammy.
And Jen Esteville says happy birthday, Wheels.
Thanks, Jen.
Hey, Sam. It was great seeing you at the Barry Odd, and we will talk a little bit or hit on the Barry Odd here in a little bit. But thanks for the waves, my friend. It
We'll
was
have to get
awesome.
Sammy in here to talk about
Yeah.
Hazen basketball. She's
Yeah.
like probably their biggest fan.
Sam, are you going to be at Thursday's game? If you are, I'll be looking for you in the stands. Big shout out to Jason Kelsey.
Yes.
Huge shout
Where's
out.
the
Huge, 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 huge. 13 seasons, Super Bowl, 6 first-team All-Pros, 7 Pro Bowls, $81.7 million in career earnings,
wow.
a top sports podcast, 2 Christmas albums, his own documentary, his own apparel, his own youth charity.
He's
And
amazing.
now he's calling it a career.
Did you guys see the picture of him running the 5K for his charity?
Yes.
Hilarious.
How do we not have that picture
He's
up?
awesome.
We should have had that picture.
He just exemplifies Philadelphia.
He does.
Like
Yep.
he is the
He does.
definition of brotherly love and everything there, and there's never going to be anyone like him.
Nope, there is
Never.
not going to be
No.
another one like him. And I think I was holding out hope that he would not retire.
I know.
Because when a few more weeks went by, I'm like, oh, maybe he's changing his mind.
Yep.
Philadelphia is still going to be competitive next year. He's coming
100%,
back.
right? He wants,
Yeah.
he wants that Super Bowl, man. His brother has 2, 3.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
like, I
But
I can
kudos to
understand
him.
that.
He's
Yeah.
got a lot going on. He's got a family. New one on the way, or did they just? She pregnant now?
I don't
Or did they just have one? Anyways, a big family.
Yep.
Let's just say that.
Maybe she is pregnant with the 4th.
I think
I
I
think-
heard something like that.
Yeah, he has 3 girls. He's definitely a girl dad.
Yep.
So,
So huge shout out to him. Wheels already got Oklahoma softball. Lynette Woodard is my big shout out. Does
Oh.
anybody know who Lynette Woodard is?
Yes.
Because the Iowa women's basketball coach wants to give her a shout
Yes,
out.
she does.
Yes.
So I'm going to
Yes,
give
she
her
does.
a shout out for her because the first part of the article I read, what's the coach's name again, Iowa?
Lisa Boulder.
Okay.
Boodler,
Boodler.
something like
Something
Glad
like
you
that.
had to say it,
Yeah.
not me.
Boulder,
She
something like
wanted
that.
to give a shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Lynette Woodard, who really is the trailblazing pioneer of women's sports.
Mm-hmm.
But it was back in the 80s.
Right.
And she goes, nobody paid attention. Coach was like, nobody paid attention to basketball in the 80s. And I thought it was just me, being an 80s girl. I'm like, you're right. And the only time I watched women's college basketball when I was in high school was the final.
Right.
Because that's all that they would broadcast. That's why I know Pat Summitt so well. It was Louisiana Tech
Yep.
and Tennessee.
Yep.
Those were the premier teams. There was no UConn yet. And that was it. One game only. So to learn about Lynette Woodard, who played for Kansas, might I add, and what did Caitlin Clark just beat? 3,669?
68 is what
68?
she has. Yep.
So Lynette Woodard, 3,649.
Yep.
And no one was even really talking about her.
Nope.
Her name wasn't even
Nope.
in the 1980s wasn't that long ago, people. Jesus, I'm not talking about the 20s and the 30s.
Right.
And God bless. I'm sorry for saying that, but the thing I love about her, she was a 4-time All-American guard at the University of Kansas, went on to capture Olympic gold medal, became the first female member of the Harlem Globetrotters,
So
Solid.
awesome.
who were
So
big back in
Amazing.
the day,
Yeah.
helped launch the WNBA as a starter. This shows you how far back the WNBA goes.
Yeah, I didn't even realize she was in the WNBA.
Starter for the Cleveland Rockers. Uh-huh. during the league's inaugural 1997 campaign.
Who knew?
Now
Who knew?
she is in the Hall of Fame and is embracing the moment and hype of Caitlin Clark as college basketball's all-time scorer. Her quote is, "Just the excitement surrounding the record. It's so beautiful for me." Woodard told USA Today Sports on Friday, "I think records are made to be broken. One day it's going to happen again. And I'm glad to be a part of it because she's at least getting recognized."
Exactly.
Yep.
And she would be in third or fourth spot. And I don't know if we'll have time tonight, but there's also a young lady over at Syracuse who
Yes.
just moved up into the third spot.
Yes, she did.
That no
Very
one's talking
quietly,
about.
that nobody- fair. Yeah.
Fair. No one's talking about her.
No.
She moved up to the third or fourth
Yep.
spot.
Dang.
And God bless her. And I get Caitlin Clark deserves the spotlight. But
Right.
I'm like, we should also be giving Fair, a big shout out too. Woodard becomes downright giddy when speaking about Clark and the impact she is having on basketball's landscape. She is drawing in so many different people, different walks of life, not just the sporting world, not just the fans, but I guarantee you every household out here knows Caitlin Clark. And this just puts things in perspective if you're a true sports fan. "I stepped outside my door and I had to smile," Woodard said. "There across the street was a young girl, little itty bitty thing, dribbling with two hands. Just bent over the ball. To see her with the basketball in her hand, those are the seeds that are being planted right now. And it's a beautiful thing." Lynette Woodard, could anyone say it any better than she just said it? And kudos to Iowa for
Yeah.
bringing her to the forefront.
They
Yep.
invited her to the game.
Yep.
Yeah, it was awesome to just to have her there. She, they said there'd be no Caitlin Clark without her, and she's like,
Right.
there'd be no,
Yeah.
like nobody would even hear about me, or there'd be no Lynette Woodard without Caitlin Clark.
Or
So,
this little itty bitty
Yeah.
4-year-old across
Yep.
the road trying to dribble a ball with two
Yep.
hands. So a big
Did you see
shout
the
out.
video of Caitlin Clark reacting to
Maya
Maya
Moore?
Moore? Friggin'
Loved it. I was
she squealed so
I
high.
know, such a fangirl.
If you want to see her fangirl, watch that.
yeah,
Look up
so
that video.
It was awesome. It was great.
Because Maya Moore's her hero, right?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
That's her hero. And I don't even think Caitlin Clark knows how many little girls are looking up to her
Right.
or trying to dribble
Trying
a
to be her.
basketball.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And she's going to add so much to the WNBA
She really
as well.
is. Yeah.
Black Bear Hockey rounded up their weekend, and I don't have the stats in front of me, but I believe boys and girls, we're talking 12, 16, 11-year-olds. There was girls and boys. There was 4 championships and 2 runner-up for Black Bear Hockey. So that says a lot about that organization. Couldn't be more proud. And again, hope to make it to some games next winter because it was so much fun watching them that one night. So a big shout out to a Black Bear Hockey. Guys, there was winter sports playoffs,
a little bit,
I
a little
heard
bit.
that.
you know?
I heard they were right here at this building
This-
up here, this
yep.
historic building that,
I first have to give a shout out to the wrestling because we covered wrestling a lot
Yes.
this winter. And of course, Mount Anthony came
Again.
away with their 35th straight state championship. They went a perfect 5 for 5 in the championship rounds and finished with 189 team points, followed by Spalding with
And it was close.
154.
Yeah.
Yep. And just a year or two ago, Spalding lost by like 5.5 points.
Yeah.
So Colchester 149.5, Otter Valley 122.5, and Middlebury 106 to round out the top 5. Elias Callett of Spalding was named the most outstanding wrestler of the tournament.
That's awesome. Good for him.
So
Congratulations. to
He's
that.
just added another poster because when you walk in to Spalding High School, there's some pretty impressive wrestling posters. Big shout out. I know a lot of the hockey in the area. I think the Harwood boys were the last ones that got knocked out in the semifinal round. But I'd be remiss if I didn't give a huge shout out because we weren't on last week to the U32 Raider girls hockey team.
Yeah.
Going into the tournament as the 8th seed and knocking off the number one seed Burr and Burton. And they were down 3-0 in that game.
Damn.
I told you, the hockey fans say the worst lead in hockey is 3-0.
Not only did they win, Burr and Burton was up 3-0. They won 4-3.
Yeah,
Wow.
Amazing.
awesome. So awesome.
Absolutely amazing. So big shout out to Caitlin Cassavant, Hannah Drury, and all the rest of the Raiders. They lost in the semis going up against the number 4 seed Missisquoi 4-1, but what a freaking exciting way
Yep.
to end your season. Up at the odd, though. Up at the odd. And this one's going to stick out more because I've had the honor of calling a lot of the games for NFHS with Carl Parton, Garrett Sicily, and company. And it started out last Monday with the boys. The boys were all last week. First game on the docket last Monday was the number 1 seed Danville Bears going up against the number 4 seed Williamstown Blue Devils. Final score of that game was 58-42, but a very exciting game. Great to see the Williamstown boys back there. And watching that team, I just could say nothing but glowing things about that team. A young team, you can't guarantee things in sports.
Right.
I guarantee you the Williamstown Blue Devils will be back there next year. Big shout out to Evan Bailey and Nick Massetti, 24 and 10 points in that game. But a huge shout out to those two young men for making the Division 3-4 Dream Dozen. That is
awesome.
a huge,
That's a huge
accomplishment.
Huge accomplishment, especially with the talent around here right now.
Exactly. So Danville moved on, and the second game on that night, it goes Division 4, Division 2. So it was the number 1 seed Hartford Hurricanes going up against the number 4 seed North Country Union Falcons. And the Hurricanes came away with a 66-48 victory. And that was pretty much, Hartford hadn't been there in a while.
Yeah.
And Coach Mike Goddard, a big shout out to you. A lot of success with the White River Valley program and took over at Hartford 2 years ago. He's got that direction, school headed in the right direction. On to Wednesday night, where it jumps back to Division 4, where it was the number 3 seed West Rutland Golden Horde going up against the number 2 seed Grace Christian Lions, and Grace Christian coming away with a 65-49 victory. But a big shout out to Allie Mitchell. Her father is the girls coach at West Rutland, and she is the boys coach at West Rutland.
How awesome is that?
And Carl Seriani, who's the girls coach at West Rutland, 400 wins, 3 state championships for Coach Seriani. And we will be watching the West Rutland
Yep.
Golden Horde tomorrow night at the Barry Auditorium. But his daughter taking over the boys program
That's awesome.
and getting better and better every year. And
That's
in
so cool.
second or third year, getting them at the Barry Auditorium. And I will say this, as doing play-by-play for that game, it was challenging. Because there was a lot of fine young men on Grace Christian that were from Serbia. Their names were challenging. But God bless them. I had the time of my life calling that game. Second game that night was number 6 seed Otter Valley, and Wheels was at that game.
I was.
Going up against the number 2 seed Montpelier Solons. So 2 versus 6. Otter Valley had a 39-24 lead at the half, and they were freaking on fire.
They had the best half of basketball
Yep.
I have seen in a long
In
time.
a long time.
Yeah. I mean, the way they passed, the way they got back on defense, the
Fast.
Way, they're just fast.
Their pace
They're
was fast.
And I was so impressed with them.
Yep, me too.
And going into halftime, I didn't want halftime. I was like, they're so hot
Neither
right
did
now.
they.
Like, just keep,
Yep.
yeah. And then the third quarter started, and there's a reason why Montpelier has won 2 years in a row, or 3 years, or
4
whatever.
now.
4 in a row.
4 now.
Yeah, there's a reason.
4 now. And I did. At the end of the game, I took my headset off and I said, shouldn't have had halftime.
No.
For Otter Valley's
No.
sake, we should not have had halftime. So they were up by 15, and the Montpelier Solons in the third quarter alone outscored Otter Valley 37-10.
Oh.
It was the third quarter. I've never seen
Yep.
anything like it.
Never.
Yep.
Never.
The next day, I still don't understand what happened.
Yeah.
Because you can erase a 15-point deficit,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it usually
Yes.
takes you the second half.
Correct.
Right.
3.5 minutes into the third quarter,
Yeah.
Montpelier was leading.
Yeah.
It was like you blink, you missed it.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, what just happened?
What just happened was
Literally
correct.
What just happened?
15-point deficit in 3.5
Yeah.
minutes. So the score at halftime is 39-24. Montpelier wins 82-63.
Yep.
Yep.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Garrett says, haha, Carl and I had no problems on Saturday with the Grace Christians team.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And why is that?
Then he says, yeah, right.
I broke you guys in nicely. I will say Carl was really good at getting all the enunciations and when we just kind of write it out the way it sounds.
Yeah.
I did get tongue-tied a little bit. Thursday night at the Barriott is always Division III night, and it was a rematch of the state championship from last year. Number 4 seed Winooski going up against the number 1 seed Hazen Union Wildcats. And that went down
Great game.
as one of the
It's a
best
great
games
game.
of
It
the
was
week.
a very
Actually,
good
both
game.
those
Yeah.
D3
Yeah.
games were
Yeah.
freaking on fire. Hazen comes away with a 41-40 victory on a foul shot by Gabe Michaud. I believe it was
Yes.
it was that fine young man at the end. But what a great game! What a just an absolutely
a very good game,
phenomenal
yeah.
game. You know, kudos to Winooski. They're graduated 9 senior.
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd be back at the odd, to be honest with you. So for them to get back there and only lose by 1 point, tip of the hat to them. In game 2, it was 2 versus 3. The number 2 seed Thetford Academy Panthers going up against the number 3 seed White River Valley Wildcats. And this was very reminiscent of don't have a lead at halftime.
Yeah.
This became the theme.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It literally became the theme for most of the week. So White River came out very similar to Otter Valley the night before, on fire, leading Thetford Academy 39-22 at the half, 53-42 at the end of the third quarter. Still an 11-point lead. Thetford comes away with a 60-58 victory, and their star
crazy.
player Mitchell Parkman in foul trouble the entire game was able to finish that game. But it just, you walked out of the odd last week going, what happened?
Yeah.
Because even
So
when
true.
Thetford chipped away,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're not going to erase this deficit. And
I-
then, boom.
I
there
like,
it is.
I like turned the game off.
Right,
I
yeah.
was like, I tuned out. I was like, oh, this game's over. And then the next day, Laura's like, no, they came back to 1. I was like, what?
Stevie looks at me and goes, what? And I go, yeah, they came
Yeah.
back and won.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm like, you're going to run out of time. Going to run out of time.
Yeah.
Well, they now have the lead. Like, what is happening? So Rice Memorial winning Division I boys over Burlington High School 66-63. I have yet to watch that game. We do not call the D1 games. Grace Christian coming away with a 52-41 victory over number 1 seed Danville. In Division II, the 3:45 game on Saturday, it was a 58-49 victory for the Montpelier Solons, the number 2 seed, just like Grace Christian, and that makes 4 in a row for the
crazy.
Montpelier Solons. And Hartford came out on fire in that first quarter. Otter Valley did for the whole first
Right.
half, but then you could just see it just kind of slipping away in that second quarter for Coach Gaudette and Hartford. And Montpelier doing what they do. They play phenomenal defense.
They really do.
Yep.
Shout out to Cleo Bridge, 13 points, Carson Cody, 17, and Atif Milak with 16. And Milak got the player of the game for CVT Sports, and that guy was the difference maker. His defensive presence altered so many shots.
Yeah.
It wasn't even funny. In the final game of the day, the number 1 seed Hazen Union Wildcats going up against the number 2 seed Thetford Academy Panthers, and that was probably the game of the day.
I think
up
that's
at
the
the
one
Barriott.
everybody was waiting for.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the one, standing room only. Hazen with a 29-20 lead at the half. Again, don't
don't
lead at the
Yep.
half. The Thetford Academy Panthers coming away with a 57-53 victory. And Mitchell Parkman led the way with 22 points. Dempsey McGovern with 8 and Hunter Clay with 15. And Parkman stayed out of foul trouble. And he
Yeah.
really he really was a difference maker. But huge shout out to the Hazen Union Wildcats as well. And last night up at the Barry Odd was just the start of the girls' week at the Odd. First game last night was number 1 seed Long Trail Mountain Lions against the number 4 seed Williamstown Blue Devils, and it was a wicked exciting game. Overtime. Doesn't get any better than that. Overtime.
Yeah.
Yep, first one. Long Trail sneaking out of the Barry Odd with a 43-40 victory. Great game. Great season for the Williamstown Blue Devils. They had a 3-point lead with a minute to go, but no game is ever over at the Barry Odd. Last game last night was an exciting one for me as a coach in Division II girls basketball. I could not wait to watch the number 1 seed North Country Falcons, the defending D2 champs, going up against the number 4 seed Harwood Union Highlanders, because the Highlanders had knocked off North Country late in the season.
Yep.
And it was North Country's only Division II loss of the season. They lost to MMU early in the season. That's a D1 school. Last year, North Country went undefeated in winning and knocking off Spalding in the championship game. Harwood came out on fire, leading 9-4 at the end of the first quarter. Sabine Bruick, Gatorade Player of the Year, cold shooting first quarter. And then all of a sudden, watch out when the light came on.
Yeah.
She had 13 points at the half. They led by 4 and never looked back with a 48-30 victory over Harwood. Tomorrow night will be the second Division II, which will be West Rutland versus Arlington, 2 and 3. And that is followed up by number 2 seed Fairhaven Slaters going up against the number 3 seed Lamoille Lancers, who knocked out the Spalding Crimson Tide Friday night in a quarterfinal game. But I do want to give a big shout out to my Spalding Crimson Tide girls.
Absolutely.
They had a nice upset last Tuesday. We traveled over to play the number 6 seed Mount Abe Eagles, and we came away with a 4-point victory. 4-point victory in that game. Tall order to go up to Lamoille. We led by 1 at the half, but Lamoille ended up winning 54-41. But a tip of the hat to the Crimson Tide girls, and good luck to the teams the rest of the way. There's nothing like basketball at the Barry Auditorium.
There really isn't. You can just feel the history in that place when you walk in there.
When you walk in.
It's just, it's incredible. I mean, I was there for the Otter Valley game, and the Hazen-Winooski game. Literally packed.
Yeah, literally packed.
I mean, the doors open at 5:30. People are outside at 4:30 waiting to go in to these games.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out what game, because when I go to call them, I park in the back by the back door, and I don't know if it was Hazen or Williamstown. I think it was the Hazen. I couldn't get my car through.
Right.
Because they're lined
Looped
down
around.
and they're straight into the parking lot instead of looped around the building. So you can't drive a car past. And they look at me like, not moving.
Yeah.
I'm here to see, high school basketball at its best. I'm like, I just want to park my car in the back and go call the game. But it's just, there's nothing like it.
No.
And even if you get there as a Final Four team and you don't move on to Championship Saturday, or you lose on Championship Saturday, you have made it to the Barry Auditorium. And I'm going to tell you this as a high school kid, meaning me. I got no further than the quarterfinal, and all I wanted to do as a player was step on that floor.
Yep.
Just wanted to step on the floor.
I never got to either.
So a big shout out to all those teams. A big shout out to everybody. But if you get to the Barry Odd, freaking enjoy it.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy it.
Man, soak it in.
You got to soak it in.
We need to live vicariously through you. Think of us who never got to get there. Enjoy every second. And it's like, because you never know if you're going to go back.
Exactly.
Like,
you don't.
just don't know.
You
so
don't.
Enjoy the moment when you're there and you're in it, and just take a look around. Take a look around at all the fans that are there. It's just incredible. And to anyone who's ever played there, who's won that, congratulations to you, because it's just
100%.
It's amazing.
100%.
Kayla says Richford plays Windsor Thursday night.
Richford does. Yes.
That's going to be a good game.
So again, the Thursday night games are D3.
Yeah.
So yes, Richford is playing. Who'd she say they were playing?
Windsor.
Windsor. So
Ooh,
that's
it's
2
gonna be
and
a good
3.
game.
That's
Yeah.
2 and 3. And number 1 Hazen, right back there,
Yeah.
Hazen, against number I think it's 5 White River Valley, because
Yes.
Thetford got knocked off in the 4-5
Yes.
game. Yes, and I've heard some great things about both Richford teams this year. So that place is going to be rocking with D3. I just got sent something on the Black Bear hockey. It was definitely 14U state
Yep.
champs.
Tier 3 1.
3, 4, they won.
U14 T4 1.
Yep, and
4
10 UT2 girls state champs, 10 UT5 state champs, 10 UT3 state runner-up state champs, and 14 UT3 girls runner-up state champs.
Mark says, I may need help handing out the medals and trophies Saturday. Any volunteers?
I'll come right down and help you, Mark. I would love to. I'm just going to start talking to everybody, though, and you're going to be like,
Right.
why are you down here? That might happen, buddy. So, yeah, all right. So I think we covered as much as we possibly can. We had a week and a half to get caught up. We will be back on Monday night at 6 o'clock, where we will talk about who's crowned in the girls basketball.
Yep.
Yep.
Huge shout out, though. Even though they're not at the Barry Odd Division 1, plays at the Patrick Gym. Big game tomorrow night. Number 1 CVU going up against number 2 St. Johnsbury. Rematch
I
of
feel like
last
it's
year.
always them.
Rematch. But this year, late in the season, St. J knocked off
Yes,
CVU.
they did. Yes, they did.
So hold on, people. Hold on. You know what we're going to talk about now? Does anybody watch the NFL Combine?
I saw highlights.
It's in
every
Indianapolis
once in a while,
at
like if
Lucas
I'm
Oil
through, yeah.
Stadium.
Mark says he's getting you on the odd floor.
Okay. I don't watch a lot of it, but I like to read the articles, who did good, who did well, because it is now March, and for the next almost 2 months, all you're going to hear is rumors. This one, and here's the thing, they leave the combine, and so ran whatever in the 40-yard dash, and I'll give a few shout outs there, but they could have been a second round pick.
Yep.
2 weeks ago. They're going to get drafted. I've seen tons of mock drafts. I look at them daily, and all of a sudden they run a good 40-yard dash, and they pop right into the first
Yep.
round, or the cone drill, or this that doesn't matter. Just their athleticism, the skills, what they put them through. They bench press, whatever, 300
Right,
pounds,
right.
40 times. So all of a sudden they go. They don't plummet. They go skyrocketing into the first round. And I'm like, great, that's wonderful. That's why you go to these combines.
Right.
A lot of them don't go. A lot
Yep.
of these guys that are assured of
Right.
top
the
10.
top 10.
Yep.
Yeah. I was
they're
gonna
not
say.
going to go.
No.
They're not
No.
going to go. And like CB said a few weeks back, a lot of them aren't going to do is
cognitive
it still
test.
called the Wonderlic test? What's it called?
No, they have a new. It's
Yeah.
It's the
It's the
yeah.
old days I called it
Yeah.
the Wonderlic.
Yeah, it used to be the Wonderlic.
Yep.
I can't remember. What the
So a lot of them aren't going to do that
No.
either, because CJ Stroud just took that and flushed it
Yeah.
right down the
Right.
toilet.
Shows that it means nothing.
Yep.
Absolutely
So
nothing.
I love to read the articles, but here's the funniest thing, and this is going to happen if you listen to us.
Yes, too.
The next 6 weeks or 7 weeks until the end of April, when they have the draft, all of a sudden these guys skyrocket,
Yep.
and then in 4 weeks they plummet.
Yep.
Yep.
And on draft night or the day before, draft night eve, they plummet
Yep.
for no reason.
Right.
Yep.
I'm like-
None at all. What have they been doing in those last 4 weeks?
They did
to
nothing.
plummet?
They'll have their pro day,
Yep.
and nothing really happens at those pro
No,
days.
no.
The quarterbacks throw.
Yep.
They all are going to throw to their receivers, their comfort level.
Yep.
That's about it. Some of them will run a 40-yard dash, but I've been following this all my life. I swear to God I have
Yeah.
been, but I'm like, why is your stock plummeting now? Unless, and then you just do hear some sketchy stories come out,
Yep.
but why do they always come out 48 hours
Right,
before the
always.
draft?
Always.
Hate
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Absolutely hate it. So they test good at the combine. Boom, they've proven themselves. They're in the first round, then they fall out.
Yep.
And I'm never going to understand it, but I love it.
Right.
I love it.
We
I
can't.
just-
we don't stop paying attention to it.
No.
And it just sucks us right in. But I also don't understand the reverse of that either. Like, okay,
Right.
this guy can bench press
225.
400 Yeah,
Yep.
400 or whatever. Okay, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a good football
Right.
player.
Thank
Nope.
you for
Yeah.
saying that.
Like, I
Yep.
just, and same
The
with like,
tape measures might not make him a
Right.
good football player.
Exactly.
The 40-yard dash might not still make him a
Right.
good football player.
I'm sure a lot of the receivers for Kansas City ran a good 40-yard dash, but
Yep.
they can't catch a freaking football.
Yep, very
so it's like
You should be
it doesn't-
ding-dinging on that one.
It doesn't make a difference. So on the reverse of that, I think the same way.
Yep.
So
So the one thing I did get from it, and I love this, is it's the top offensive lineman draft in the last 20 years.
oh wow.
And I was watching some
That's
of
awesome.
these big studs run the 40-yard dash.
It's so
5.5
impressive.
seconds.
It's so
a few of
impressive.
them
Yeah.
got under 5.
Yeah.
And they were zeroing in on 4 of them that we will talk about all of them in the coming days and the coming weeks. But they are saying it is the best offensive line class in the last 20 years. And as if you're a true football fan, yes, you're going to watch the draft and go, God, I want that receiver or
Right.
that running back.
Right.
But your team is built
Yep.
from the inside out
Correct. Yep.
on the O-line and D-line side. We all know that.
Yep.
That's why I laugh at the Cowboys now because they built one of the best offensive lines. Still didn't get it done. No. And now they're starting over.
Right.
It's almost recycle time
Right.
for them. So, yeah, the biggest 40-yard dash was Clemson's quarterback, Nate Wiggins. Wiggin. And it kind of put him into the
Yep.
first round, that back end of the first round. So he ran a 4.28. But then Xavier Worthy,
Yeah.
Yep.
the wide receiver from Texas, 4.21.
To put it in perspective,
Yeah.
faster than Usain Bolt.
Right. Thank you, CB, for that.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
So as good as the offensive line class is, this receiver class
yeah, it's
is
awesome.
sick.
Yeah.
You are going to go into round 2 and 3 easily. And a couple years from now, we're going to be talking about these receivers. We're probably going to say receiver in round 4 or 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many receivers. My favorite storyline, though, is this kid named Luke McCaffrey, not from Friday Night Lights, in case you've watched the series. It is Christian McCaffrey's
CMC's brother, right?
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey ran a 4.48. Luke ran a 4.47.
Oh,
That's bragging rights.
Yeah, right.
Those are
Absolutely.
sibling bragging rights.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Wide receiver
till the end of
from-
days.
Right? Wide receiver from Rice is Luke McCaffrey. He spent 3 seasons as a quarterback. So don't tell me this kid isn't freaking athletic. Well, look at his brother.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So first 2 seasons at Nebraska as a quarterback in the quarterback room there. Transfers to Rice, spends the first season as a quarterback in the quarterback room. Switches out to a wide receiver his senior year. Outruns his brother by a tenth of a second. Wait for it, though. 126 catches,
Wow.
1,700 yards, and 18 touchdowns.
In
at
1
Rice
year?
University. I think it's 1 year. I'm going to have to double check it.
Ooh, Garrett says, I heard rumors J.J. McCarthy after the combine, GMs
Going
are
to the
putting him
Giants.
in
Yes.
as a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're now saying, Garrett, they're now saying top 5.
Yeah.
But again, 2 weeks from now, he'll be
He'll be
picked
in the
20th.
late second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Garrett's right on.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, now he's in the top 10. All I keep reading, because when do the Giants pick?
6.
I even heard them trading, and of course, rumors, to the top 3. That was my latest article. Oh my God! And when I read the article, I thought they were going to say Drake May, but it was to move up to 3 to get J.J. McCarthy
Wow.
over Jaden Daniels.
Wow.
Wow. No,
like,
yeah.
Whoa! Yep. Thank you, Garrett, because that was on my notes tonight.
I feel like what the Giants are going to do is just
Stupid.
I think it's going to be stupid.
Whatever they do.
Whatever
Whatever
they
they
choose
do,
to
it's
do.
going to be stupid.
Is going to be stupid.
you all are going to watch the draft because you're going to want to see. And again, back in the old days, it was 1 day. Now it's 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a huge
Yeah.
event.
Right.
We will take 4 quarters there some year. We probably should go to Detroit this year. But anyways, you're going to want to see where Luke McCaffrey goes.
Yeah.
I'm going to want to see where
Yeah.
he goes. And there's so many receivers that Roman Wilson, who's the receiver from Michigan, he's one of the top dogs, but no one's talking about him. But they're comparing him to Puka Nacua, who went in round,
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
right? Because Nacua tested awful.
Yep.
He was slow in his 40-yard dash. He was slow in a cone drill, and so he
It means-
went
Try
from the second
but
round
try
to the
to
fifth
take
round.
him down. But
Right.
try to take him down.
It literally means nothing.
Thank you, CB. Yep. So I love the storylines, but I will say this. I absolutely love the receivers. Just remember some of these names. These are just some of these names that won't even go in the first round. Lad McConkey from Georgia. He ran a
Great name.
4.39. Put this guy in the slot. He's 6 feet, 186 pounds. Put him in the slot, and he is Julian Edelman. Yes, I said it. That's just me saying that. Adonia Mitchell ran a 4.34 in the 40-yard dash. Another guy who might sneak in, be in the second round. This is a 6'2", 205-pounder who ran a 4.34.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's impressive.
I can't even do that.
I can't
And
either.
these are guys that you're going to hear about them. You're going to hear about them, but they're not the top dogs. They're not.
Right.
I mean, we all know Marvin Harrison is going to go in the top.
He should be in the top 5.
He should be in the top 3, but
should,
he won't slide any farther than 4.
No.
One of my favorite receivers this year was Florida State's 6'3", Keon Coleman. The guy has hands like nobody's business. But guess what, guys? He ran a 4.61.
Uh-oh.
So now his stock went
right.
from the middle of the first round to he's starting to fall to the end of the first round. And again, here's another comparison. NFL Network broadcasters brought up several times that Keon Coleman's hands and his game is very similar to Puka Nakua. Everybody wants to find the
Everybody's-
next Puka
right?
Nakua. And Puka ran a 4.57.
Yeah.
Goddamn, so freaking slow.
So slow.
So slow. So remember Keon Coleman. Brian Thomas is starting to plummet up the boards. He's a 6'3", 209-pounder from LSU. And he's solid anyways. He ran a 4.33. I'll just read a few more. We talked about Mitchell already. McConkey we already talked about. Troy Franklin, 6'2", just 176 pounds. So
Oh my
a
gosh.
slight frame.
Yeah.
So
Slight
little.
frame. He ran a 4.41, and I keep reading about him not falling, just getting into that first round and possibly ending up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Roman Wilson, who we already talked about from Michigan, just 5'11 and 185, but he ran a 4.39. So these receivers are fast, but it's not the only part of their game.
Right.
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 Can they run
Right.
a good route tree?
Right.
Do they have strong hands?
Right.
It is all about the route tree
It is,
running.
yes.
It really
Yep.
is. Xavier Leggett from South Carolina, another 6'1", 221-pounder. He was a solid, what did he run? His was the 40-inch vertical jump, 10-foot 6 broad jump. So you can go on and on about how they test. Ricky Parasol from Florida, one of my favorites. These are all wide receivers. All I'm talking about is wide receivers. But they all ran quick
Right.
40-yard dash. I don't know, but if you watch college football, you know.
Yeah.
And of all those guys, Keon Coleman's, in my eyes, the best, but he's the slow guy,
Slowest.
4.61. So I don't know. Michael Penix threw.
Yes, he did. And he was impressive, they said.
Very impressive
Yep.
because him and Bo Nix have to. They're
They
the
have
ones
to,
that
yeah.
are
Yep.
they're sliding. The big thing with Penix is the medicals. But all I'm hearing is from NFL Network is extremely positive.
Yeah,
He
nice.
suffered 2 torn ACLs plus I had to read this just for CB. A severe shoulder injury
Ugh.
during his 6 college seasons.
On
my
Why
God.
did we pick on Bo Nix
I
so
know,
much and
right?
not Michael Penix? Shame on us. I mean, seriously, shame on us, you guys.
Well, in grad school, we learned about how pretty much quarterbacks, when they're throwing, their arm is in the most vulnerable position for an anterior dislocation, which is one of the most common dislocations to have. And then they're throwing, and then they get tackled,
So-
and it's done for their shoulder.
Aren't you surprised there's not more injuries?
Yes.
I mean, I know we
Yeah.
say stupid shoulders a lot,
Yeah.
but I'm surprised
There's
not
nothing.
more.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not a lot holding that shoulder in.
So, and Xavier Worthy, again, he is the young man from Texas that ran the 4.21. So his stock is just through the roof.
Yep.
You know, and I guess with that, you're just going to have him run straight.
Right.
But
I mean, that's great.
but I'm not going to draft them on my fantasy
No.
team
No.
for that 2 catches, 89 yards, and a
Right.
touchdown that I can't count on every week.
Correct.
So I had to throw it out there because it's a good wide receiver class and it's a good
It's a
offensive line
great
class.
wide receiver class, yeah.
And it is a good quarterback class as well. It really is. But you can probably, the interesting thing for me is going to be, does Penix and Bo Nix fall out of the first
Yeah.
round? Which they could.
I think they will.
Do you think they
I
will?
do, yes.
It's going to be a roller coaster. They're
yeah.
gonna, their stock's going to be,
Yep.
they're going to have their pro day and their stock's going to go back
Correct.
up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But even the Giants, it was hearing from their front office, as much as they want to move up and get a quarterback, I don't think they're going to press. They're not going to push
No.
the issue. I don't think they're going to panic either.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I do think that I've heard rumors that Justin Fields is going to be traded to Atlanta. So I do think Caleb Williams will go 1. I absolutely think he'll be the first one picked. And
Biggest
then
storyline is Justin Fields.
it's
right
Justin
now.
Yeah.
Fields.
It is.
Like
Yeah.
Right
that, Chicago's going to set the tone as far as like,
Yep.
but
They own the draft kind of right now.
right.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Right
just
now.
don't think that the Giants need to trade up
Right.
at all for anything. Like
I
you're
agree.
not going to get. You'd have to trade up to the number 1 pick to get Harrison. Like you're just not going to do that.
Nope.
And if I'm Marvin Harrison, I'm like, that's great. You want me number 1, but look who's going to throw me the ball.
Who's
Like,
your
Right.
who's your quarterback?
Like I wouldn't even want to go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And now the Giants are basically throwing away Saquon Barkley. So
yeah.
They are. They chose not to
Yeah.
franchise tag him.
Which I'm happy if they were gonna re-sign him, like give him a
Right.
contract.
Right.
If they're gonna franchise, like with everything that he's given to the Giants,
right.
with as
Exactly.
much loyalty as he has given to the Giants, let him go test out the free agency. Go get paid
Yep.
because he deserves it.
So I'm glad they did that.
Yeah.
Part
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And we said a few weeks
but
ago.
they're idiots for letting him go.
Yes.
Yes. A lot of running backs out there.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's
Yes.
probably going to get released.
Yes.
The one I heard today was obviously the Cowboys are not going to franchise Tony Pollard.
Right.
But they're the one team really honestly verbalizing that they want to keep him more than the Giants are with
Oh, wow.
Saquon Barkley. I'm going to give you the headlines from today. You guys are going to love these. I'll save that one for last for Wheels. The Pittsburgh Steelers, because the other big nugget here is Russell Wilson.
Yep.
is
Yep.
really
Where's he
gonna
gonna
be
go?
released.
Yep.
Yep.
And he's going to play this year for, I have it written down here somewhere, $39 million.
Yep.
That's what he's owed.
Yep.
And so if you're signing him to play for the Giants, you can give him $1 million.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos are giving him $39
$39
million.
million.
Absolutely.
This is the biggest bust
Yeah.
contract.
Yep.
Not going to say he's a bust.
No.
Because it just, once Sean Payton went there, it just
Yeah. It just.
There was
it
no
was
coming back
not
from
going to
that.
work.
No.
Yeah.
And Peyton wasn't there when Russell Wilson was traded there.
Right.
Yep.
So the big news from the Steelers, they are not, and this one surprises me, interested in acquiring Justin Fields or Russell Wilson.
Oh dear Lord.
Why?
I
Why
had
not?
Wilson going to the Steelers.
Why
I was going to
not?
sit here and wear Steeler
Yep.
attire and say, "Well, Russell Wilson's going to the Steelers."
Why?
What are
Why?
they? What do they see? What are they
The
doing?
Steelers apparently are not going to pursue the big names, and instead they're going to give Kenny Pickett another chance.
No.
Oh
way.
no!
So as
Where's
I
Annie?
read
Oh,
here-
no.
She's somewhere.
You said her name before? Okay. So it says right here that Pittsburgh general manager Omar Khan said they have full faith in Pickett,
Oh no!
and they may
Oh,
look
dear
to
Lord.
re-sign Mason Rudolph. So it appears the Steelers are hopeful that first-year offensive coordinator Arthur Smith
Oh my
can
God.
unlock
What
something
is
out
happening in
of
Pittsburgh?
third-year quarterback Kenny Pickett. I'm so sorry, sis. It could be a long season.
My God.
I was hopeful that they were going to bring in Russell Wilson. He does
Yeah.
great in an offense
Yes.
that's run-based, and that's a perfect fit. I will say this. I somehow see Ryan Tannehill landing in a Steeler uniform and backing up Pickett
Yep.
because he played for Arthur Smith
Right.
when Smith made his name as the
Yeah.
offensive coordinator of the Titans. That's how he made his name, making Ryan Tannehill into a pretty good quarterback.
Yep.
So I could see Tannehill landing there, and maybe not Mason Rudolph. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. But
Wow.
there's more.
Sorry,
The
Ashley.
other big talk of the day is there's very credible indications, and this is from Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk, which he's a hell of a good reporter. Kirk Cousins is considering signing with the Falcons.
Yep.
Because I had
Yeah.
Justin Fields in a Falcon
I
uniform
do too.
already.
I do too.
He obviously has been at the top of the Falcons list, and obviously new coaching staff, and it's very appealing that at the helm will be a McVay style offense with Zach Robinson in his first year as offensive coordinator, and a Bijan Robinson, a Kyle Pitts, and a Drake London in tow. I'm telling you guys, this could be a fun.
The offseason is going to be
Wild.
Yeah.
Because as much as I'm just going to be infatuated with the draft, free agency,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
starts
it's-
next week.
Yeah, it's going to be
Just
nuts.
waiting for the domino
Yeah.
to fall.
Wait for the dominoes to fall. And even when you get the franchise tag like L'Jarius Sneed, solid cornerback for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But he can now speak with other teams about a trade.
Right.
That's the new thing now, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But if I'm the Chiefs, I want to bring him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and if I'm him, I want to stay there.
Oh,
Right? So, yeah, Russell Wilson is out that we just talked
Yep.
about. He signed a 5-year, $242 million contract
crazy.
extension, which included $161 million guaranteed.
Oh my god.
God.
He will be a post-June cut and will count as a $35.4 million dead cap hit in 2024 and you guys are going to love this, a $49.6 million dead
gosh.
cap hit in 2025.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my god.
What?
Sean Payton really must not like him.
He must hate him.
I mean, try to make it work, but
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a little in sticking with that. There are reports by Ian Rappaport that Jarrett Stidham would be the Broncos' starting quarterback if the season started today. Well, no kidding, because he's the only one
Yeah, I was going to say, is he the
on
only
their
one there?
roster. He did start for Coach Payton when he benched Russell Wilson, but now obviously we're going to see a team like Denver trying
Right.
to trade up in the draft as well. So
Wow.
the name I keep hearing, and I don't know how this guy keeps doing it. Jacoby Brissett is the name I keep hearing. Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
He played for the Dolphins when Tua
He's
got
been
hurt.
around the block.
He was with the Commanders last year, and when they didn't like Sam Howell, he went in. I'm hearing the Patriots and the Broncos are just.
Didn't he start
enthralled.
with the Patriots?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. So let's watch where Jacoby Brissett
Yeah.
goes as well. I don't know. And I'm going to, just one last note here. And right before free agency starts, I have to give a huge shout out because Mike Evans 2 days ago said, I want to go to a team that has a franchise quarterback, a stud, and I want a chance to win. And 2 days later, he re-ups with Tampa. So he stayed home.
Right.
He's been a Buck his whole life.
Good for
I
him.
also think, it's not the franchise quarterback.
Right.
But I can't see Baker Mayfield going anywhere but
No.
back to Tampa.
Right.
And him and Evans, they clicked.
They did.
They clicked.
Yep.
Another rumor is Calvin Ridley. The Jacksonville Jags would love to have him back, but the New York Jets are eyeing him to pair with Garrett Wilson. They're going to give Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers 2 studs.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
He's got
for
one.
Sure.
Yep.
Yep.
And he's got a stud behind him
Yeah.
in Brees Hall.
Right.
So they're going to give him another. They'll give him another shot. So my last little bit before we talk about breaking records is the Athletics 10-win believes. He's sitting down, right?
I'm
Okay.
sitting, yes.
Drake May's creativity is reminiscent of Josh Allen and C.J. Stroud.
Oh, my God.
And this is a credible reporter for the
Who?
Athletics.
Oh.
And I
can't.
have not seen Drake May fall out of 2 or 3 in every mock draft.
Wild.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't even have words.
Who wrote that?
for that?
Ted Nguyen of The Athletics. That's a,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Teddy.
He's a good reporter. In a thorough breakdown of May's
No.
strengths and weaknesses, he said the North Carolina quarterback attacks the middle of the field with anticipation, aggressively hunts for deep opportunities, rare traits, and are reminiscent of a passer of the modern pinnacle at the position, just like Josh Allen and C.J. Stroud.
I can't.
He may need a year or two to hone his fundamentals, but so didn't Josh Allen. C.J. Stroud did not. But I just took a screenshot of that before I came here tonight because I had to read that to you.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. That's it.
So the more reporters, The Athletic or wherever, NFL, Drake May is right there.
I just don't. I don't. What are they? They must see stuff. I can't even
Speechless.
speak.
Speechless.
I can't even speak about it. And we're done. And we're done. You got nothing.
So my point was to see if Wheels could speak after that. and
Yeah.
She cannot.
I cannot.
So, yeah, I'm like, everybody's sold on this guy.
Yeah.
And I was telling CB at work some point, well, what's today? Tuesday? So it was yesterday. I know it was yesterday. I said, I was reading this article. We're coming out of the NFL Combine. The big buzz is the Giants moving up into the top 4.
Yeah.
Big buzz. And I'm like, oh,
I think
what happens? So I looked at CB literally with compassion, and you can ask her. And I said, what happens if they move up to get Drake May?
Yeah.
I am nervous for
Yep.
you two,
Yep.
for me a little
Yeah.
bit, because I plan on watching it with you guys.
Yeah.
And CB's like, Wheels is going to burn all her Giant stuff.
All it's
Yeah.
And
gone
what
in a
did
blaze
you
of
say?
glory.
You might join her?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Garrett says, yeah, he does it against nobodies in the ACC.
Exactly. Thank you,
True,
Garrett.
true,
Thank
my
you.
friend. True, my friend.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, all the big
Yeah.
buzz, Giants
As-
moving up, Giants moving
As
up.
soon as you told me that, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. So in my mind, I quickly went to Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison, and I went, oh, crap.
I'm fine if we move up and we take one of them.
One of them.
Right.
I
yeah,
know you
yep,
are.
Yep.
But
That
if
would be
we,
perfect.
I
I'm
know you
telling you,
are.
I am bringing all of my Giants gear, firewood, gasoline, and a lighter. And I tell you what,
You should bring a cigar too.
If-
Light it with a cigar.
if the
just-
Giants draft him, I am done. Done with the New York Giants. And I will find another team to root for.
I'm a little nervous now for the
I'm
draft.
so scared.
I don't get nervous, but when I heard the buzz coming out of the combine, out of Lucas Oil Field, I'm like, oh, God, they better not move up to get oh,
Listen.
my God, I can't watch it with them.
Listen, they already messed up the draft by not completely just bombing the rest of the season.
Correct.
They should
Very
have just
true.
bombed the rest of the season,
Correct.
get a better draft pick.
But are you sold on Caleb Williams? Because what if they
Oh, I'm not
Oh
sold
no,
on
no,
him
no,
at
no,
all.
no, no, no,
No.
no,
So
no.
what if you were in line to get the number 1 pick and it's going to be Caleb Williams? Crickets.
Shouldn't be.
No.
Crickets. And again, in the next couple of weeks, I keep hearing that Chicago, who owns the draft right now, will make a decision on Justin Fields, because with free agency starting, you can only keep Justin Fields in jail for so long,
Right.
Chicago.
Right.
Yep.
He's either your guy, because he's already gone public and said, I want to stay,
Yeah.
or trade him,
Right.
Yep.
set him free. I hear 85% saying Bears Caleb Williams
Yep.
is a match made already. So then let Justin
Caleb
Fields
Williams
go.
is going to cry.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So right now, I said Justin Fields Falcons.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm having a hard time coming up with another team.
Isn't he from there? I think that's why he.
Yes,
like,
he
he's
is.
from Atlanta.
Yes, he's a Georgia
Nice.
boy.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Steelers need to retrack. You can get Russell Wilson for $1 million. I
Yeah,
mean, you
what are
probably
the
have to give him
Steelers
more.
What are the-
thinking?
yeah.
Like,
Worst decision of everyone.
we think the Giants are
And if
out of it.
Kirk
Like, what is
Cousins
happening?
leaves Minnesota, well, then
They
who's
need
going-
somebody.
Who's
Yeah.
going to Minnesota then?
Right.
Like, fascinating. Chicago's not going to trade Justin Fields within the division.
No.
No.
You
That's
just-
a gold. That's a cardinal
stupid.
sin.
And does anyone in, they even need him? There's not anybody
No.
Yeah.
there that
Especially
needs
when you're
quarterback.
drafting a rookie his first year.
Right.
Right?
And then you trade within the division.
Right? So I'm telling you guys,
Yeah.
this is going to be a fun
Wow.
couple of months, and free agency starts in another week. So what we're going to do now is the title of the show are Records Are Made to Be Broken.
Real quick.
Yeah, go.
Paul Machete says, thank you for the Williamstown Blue Devils and Nick Machete shout outs.
Any day, my friend, and
First-time
thanks
listener,
for the
right?
message. Yes, and thanks for the message you sent me. I was watching his son Nick play, just a sophomore, and this kid's got game. He is so smooth. He is silky smooth. I'm like, I wanted to see, Evan Bailey play, but I ended up all eyes for me were on Nick Massetti. A big shout out though. Raylene gave a huge shout out to Gabby Bach, the goalie for Spalding High School.
Yes.
Goes
We've
to
said her
school
name a lot. Yep.
at Northfield,
Yep.
and we said her name
Yep.
a ton
A ton.
this
Yep,
winter. 30, 40 saves, constantly keeping the Crimson Tide in the game. She was chatting with the dad, who gave her a picture and some info. So we want to start raising our game.
Right.
And now that we are back in studio, maybe having some of these student athletes in, but I want to challenge coaches out there and parents out there. Send us
stuff.
info.
Yeah, info.
Yep.
Message
Pictures,
us.
everything.
Yep.
On Facebook, message me, send us a picture, send us information on your kid, your wonderful student athlete child, and we will give as many shout outs as we get information
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
because we talk about high school sports. I talked about it for a good half hour because high school sports deserves to be talked about. These kids deserve shout outs. And I will say it again, high school, those 4 years go by fast.
Yes, they do.
And these kids, these young adults, they're not kids, but these young adults need to enjoy those 4 years. So I gave you guys each a whiteboard. And I'm going to ask you, I started to look at some of the top records out there. And I said, do we think they're ever going to be broken in our lifetime? Let's just cap it
Okay.
at
All right.
in our lifetime.
lifetime.
Because, records are made to be broken. We all know that. So I'm like, will we see these records
Except
be broken?
Caitlin's.
Well,
Caitlin's-
that might be
Caitlin's
one
won't
of
be
the
broken.
questions. Do we cap it in our lifetime? Do we just say, well, we're on Earth the next 20 years? What do we say? I mean, you guys got a lot longer on Earth than me, okay?
You never
in
know.
your lifetime, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Our lifetime.
So, I got a lot of them here, and I love them. I'm not going to do the hockey ones because I just don't know. This one's easy.
Well.
This one's easy for you guys. MLB. Consecutive games played.
Oh.
Cal Ripken, 2,632.
No.
No way.
And it should be never.
Agree.
Yeah, never.
Never.
I think, yeah.
Never.
Never.
I don't think it will ever, 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 ever be broken. I don't even think
There's
it will come close.
no way
No.
these players today
No.
even come close to
Nope.
playing.
Nope.
How many games? 162? I
Yeah.
don't know how many games there are.
168?
You guys are going to love this
168,
one.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
60 something. Yeah.
NBA. Consecutive NBA titles. Boston Celtics with 8.
Oh, God.
1959 to 1966. We're going to get a lot of no's here, or nopes.
Nope.
And in doing this, it's fascinating to learn these too.
Yeah.
Women's college basketball. Consecutive games won. UConn, 111.
God, that's
From
so
2014 to 2017, including 2 national championships. And I remember when they lost in the Final Four, it was against Mississippi State.
Yes. That
And-
girl hit the shot at
Yep,
the buzzer.
Yep.
The little kid.
The little one. Little thing.
Little itty bitty.
Little itty bitty.
112 games?
Yeah.
111, so yeah.
Oh, 111.
I'm going to say no
Yeah.
just because how much the game has progressed and
Yeah.
how competitive it is now.
Yep.
Like there's
The parity.
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
the parity is just.
Here's a fun one. Most points in a single game, which I'm going to admit, there's a few times in the last 5 to 8 years. So on March 2nd, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Is it ever?
is that the question?
Yep.
No.
I'm going to say yes.
That's
I'm going to say yes. You
I'm
say
gonna
no.
say no.
You say no, CB?
no.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I know that
What's the closest?
Joel and Kobe had 80,
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think that's the closest.
that's the
I
closest.
mean, if Kobe can't do it,
right,
Right.
right.
then
So
Career rushing yards in the NFL,
Ooh, good one.
breaking Walter Payton's 15-year. No, I'm sorry. Breaking Walter Payton's record was Emmitt Smith in his 15-year career, 18,355 yards.
oh my gosh,
And I ask you, though, what say you? Because there's usually running back A, running back B.
correct.
Right.
It's very
On
different
two.
now.
right?
Teams
And
now.
then are running backs even lasting that long?
They don't.
That's shelf life.
Like they're not
Shelf life. 29,
lasting,
they're
they're
all
not
done.
lasting that long either.
All done. 15
So,
seasons.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no as well.
yeah,
I'm going to agree with you guys
Yeah.
on that one.
man, they're always tearing something or
Yeah,
getting
and then-
injured.
yeah,
Have two injuries and
yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's
two
just it.
big injuries in your career and you're done.
If they play, like, what is Derrick Henry, 29?
yeah.
And they're calling him old?
yeah,
I think he's still got a good couple of years. So
Yeah.
31 is old now,
Yeah.
which is just
Yeah.
mind-boggling to me. MLB, career hits. Pete Rose beating
Rose.
Ty Cobb with 4,256. I'll give you this tidbit. Meanwhile, the closest active player is Freddie Freeman with 2,114.
yeah,
No,
No.
never, because no
Love
one
it.
hits for average anymore.
nobody. Nope.
No
Right.
one hits for average anymore.
Nope.
I knew CB would love these MLB ones. I want to ask career home runs, but is it fair to say Barry Bonds, or should I just skip it? I'm going to skip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm still going to stick with MLB. Career stolen bases.
Ooh.
Ricky
Okay.
Henderson.
Ricky Henderson.
Yep.
1,406.
Can I go with maybe?
I know.
Because honestly,
There's no active player close.
but
Well, I knew that,
with
but-
this
And
last
we wouldn't
season,
hold our breath, is what the article is saying.
but with the bigger bases, and this last season, people were going off on stolen bases.
I think you should say yes.
So I'm going to say yes. Fine, I'll say
I
yes.
still don't. I don't. I'm more of a maybe, but if I had to lean, I would say no.
Okay. A yes and a no.
I say it's got a
Yeah.
shot.
This one's fun because I didn't even have a clue. At least, as I'm reading these, Wheels is already naming the person. NFL consecutive games started. So the Cal Ripken of the NFL,
Huh.
Brett Favre.
Wow.
Listen to this. 297?
Never.
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 It
Never.
will not even.
Not even
Close.
close. Not even close.
Nope.
They
Not
get a
even close.
hangnail and they skip a game.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry, I don't mean to be mean, but
Nope. It's true.
Brett
If
Favre.
I don't even think Patrick
Ding,
Mahomes
ding.
would be he would
No.
be the only one.
He
I
would
feel
be
like
the only one.
But then he
That's a
sat,
good one. That's a good
like him or
throw
Josh
out.
Allen.
But he sat the last. He sat game
He
week
did
18.
sit a game
Oh, he did
with
sit a
the
game.
ankle? Or am I thinking Kelsey?
And
No, didn't he sit the game when
he
when
sat
they-
week 18.
What's
yes,
that?
Week 18 when they already made the playoffs.
Oh,
They
that's
sat
true
week
too.
18.
yeah.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Yeah.
Never, because
Yep.
coaches do that now,
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
Good point, CB. That was a fabulous point. Oh, here's a good one. NFL. Consecutive 100-yard rushing games. Again,
Ooh.
it's got to be a running back that's going to get the rock, like
Right.
Bijan freaking Robinson. 14 consecutive 100-yard games by Barry
Barry
Sanders.
Sanders.
Oh, solid.
That one to me is the needles maybe pointing towards. I'm going to
Maybe.
give it a yes. 14's a lot, though.
That's a lot.
That's like almost a whole season.
I'm still going to
That,
give it a yes.
right? That's 100 yards.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to
I'm
say
gonna
no.
say no as well.
They're going to get injured somewhere.
I haven't said yes once. Wow.
So are you going to say no?
I'm
gonna
gonna say no.
yes.
I'm going to say no.
Soccer,
Yes, let's go.
which you forgot your soccer shout out. We're going to have to talk about
Yeah,
soccer
we
on
had
Monday.
there was so much going on.
Most goals in a calendar year. Messi with 91.
Damn.
Yeah. One of the greatest individual performances in any sport. Playing for Barcelona and Argentina's national team.
91. That's
Nearly
insane.
reached the century mark for goals in 2012.
That's insane. I don't think it's going to happen again.
I don't either. I know very little about soccer, but I don't think that will either.
No, because he's like, he was the guy. He was
Right.
the guy.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that my last one for you guys? Oh, this is a good one too. Oh no, it's not my last one. God, we're gonna be here all night, and Stevie just wants to eat dinner. Been working all day. I can't get my phone to work
The
though.
ADHD is out of this world, guys.
Most consecutive NFL 1,000-yard rushing seasons. 11.
Holy
Damn. Nope. It's not going to happen.
No.
Emmett Smith.
No.
It's not going to happen.
Nope.
Okay, I just got 2 more for you guys, and these are easy. Oh, actually, I got Olympics.
Ooh.
I love Olympic questions.
Most career gold medals. Michael
Michael
Phelps,
Phelps.
23.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely no freaking way.
no.
No freaking way.
I mean, I just had to say because I love
Nobody
Michael
will come
Phelps.
close.
No.
No.
Career rebounds in the NBA. Wilt Chamberlain, 23,924.
Nope.
No.
And I got just 2 more.
I literally have
'Cause
not said yes once.
I know. And I don't think you're going to do this one, but I love this man. NBA career assists. John frickin' Stockton. 15,806.
No.
That's mind blowing.
because there's very few players in the NBA now that are point guards.
Actual point
Right.
guards.
There's
Well,
just
because
no such
they
thing
don't.
anymore.
Nope.
You
Yeah.
chuck the ball and
Yep.
they
You
either
shoot.
alley-oop, dunk, or shoot a 3.
Like
Yep.
LeBron is a point guard, for God's sake.
Right.
Like,
That's insane.
Yeah. So
My last one, Caitlin Clark's score
No.
record.
I say yes.
No, I think it will be broken. Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
See, I got you to say yes.
I do. Do I think
Juju Watkins, if she stays in,
if
she's got a shot.
Juju stays in,
CV went
She's
with
got a
Juju.
shot.
I agree. I 100% agree with
Yeah.
you. Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it can be done. But if
She's got the best shot.
she has the best shot, yes.
She has
Agreed.
the best shot, but I will
Agreed.
agree that that one does probably deserve a yes because of where women's basketball is.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, let's face it; these kids are amazing. And when I say kids, I even look at Hannah Hidalgo. I was
Yeah.
watching her on Sunday. Freshman class is sick, and they're only going to get better
Yeah.
and stronger and faster and everything else.
Yes.
All right, CB, I promise that was the last one. But I got so enthralled with these records, and I'm like, I didn't know half of these.
Yeah.
I mean, Wilt Chamberlain, John Stockton, just studs, just studs. All right, so thanks for tuning in. I know we went way over time, way. We will be back on Monday at 6 p.m., where, again, poor CB has to come from work and jump behind the mic and put the headset on.
We'll bring our food next.
A
Yeah,
little bit of a shorter day on Monday.
yeah, true. And I really got to bring her pizza this
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
You got to tell me your favorite pizza. Wheels, happy birthday again,
Thank
my
you.
friend.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of the week, everybody. Get up to the Barry Odd Wednesday and Thursday, and championship Saturday this Saturday. Have a great
luck.
rest of the week, and see you on Monday.